In 2023, a dealer in Texas made an offer on a barely used pickup truck.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened here.
6 months later, the same dealer called back. $4,000 more on the table. Still got turned down. That owner wasn't being stubborn. He wasn't being difficult. He had data. And he knew something that most truck owners never figure out until it's too late. Right now, while the used car market is quietly bleeding value across the board, a specific group of 10 trucks is doing the opposite. Not just holding their ground, pulling away from everything around them. We ran the numbers across millions of real transactions. What came back wasn't what we expected. One truck on this list is losing less than $180 a month in depreciation. Think about that. You probably spend more than that on groceries in 2 weeks. Another one, a truck that cost over $60,000 new, lost a total of $1,000 in 5 years. Not per year, total. And the one at number 1, owners are being handed $5,000 over what they originally paid on a truck that's still under warranty, and they're turning it down without losing any sleep over it. 10 trucks, real transaction data, and a clear answer to the question you should be asking right now. Is the truck in your driveway worth more than you think? Stay with us. Number 10 might be the one that surprises you most. Number 10, Ford Maverick Hybrid. Every automotive publication wrote essentially the same review when this truck launched. Charming, efficient. But who is actually going to buy this? An 18-month waitlist answered that question without a single press release. Here's where the data lands. The Maverick Hybrid retains 68.4% of its value after 5 years, the best figure of any compact pickup on the market. The average vehicle loses 41.5% in that same window. The Maverick Hybrid is losing 31.6%. In real numbers, on a purchase price around $34,000, that works out to roughly $179 a month in depreciation. That number you heard in the intro, this is where it comes from. Owner forums back the data with actual odometer readings. Members are reporting real-world fuel economy of 35 to 42 miles per gallon in mixed driving. No direct competitor exists. The Hyundai Santa Cruz serves a completely different buyer. There is no Toyota compact hybrid truck, no Honda, no Ram. The Maverick Hybrid is alone in its space, and used market demand has exactly one place to go. If you own one, you already know. Drop the year and trim in the comments. We want to see how many are out there. Number 9, GMC Sierra 2500 HD. This truck exists because some buyers need heavy-duty capability without feeling like they traded their comfort for their payload rating. The Denali configuration is where value retention becomes genuinely striking. Data shows the 2024 Sierra 2500 HD retaining around 84% of its value compared to new. An owner who paid full price on a 2024 model has barely lost anything after 2 years. Here's why the floor stays so high. These trucks have jobs to do. Buyers aren't picking them up because they look good in a driveway, though the Denali Ultimate does look excellent in a driveway. They're buying them because they have 30,000-pound trailers that need moving and job sites that won't wait. That functional demand creates a used market floor that luxury SUVs would envy. The Duramax 6.6-liter turbo diesel deserves its own mention. Maximum towing reaches 22,420 pounds in gooseneck configuration. More importantly, that engine has a documented reputation for running past 300,000 miles with proper maintenance. Commercial buyers in construction, ranching, and agriculture aren't shopping by invoice price. They're shopping by lifetime cost of ownership. On that calculation, the Sierra Duramax wins almost every time. Number 8, Chevrolet Silverado 1500, the most stubbornly uninteresting truck in America, and the used market has rewarded that for 30 years straight. Boring, it turns out, is a financial strategy. The Silverado 1500's 5-year depreciation runs roughly 40%, right around the segment average. That sounds middling until you account for what these trucks actually cost. When you're starting from a transaction price of $60,000 or higher on a loaded LTZ or high country, retaining 60% means walking away with $36,000 5 years later. Consumer Reports has consistently given the Silverado above-average reliability marks in recent years. J.D. Power gave it an 82 out of 100 quality score for 2024 and 2025 models. One thing Silverado owners know that outsiders don't: extended cab configurations and fleet spec models lose value considerably faster than crew cabs. If you own a crew cab, LTZ, or high country with low miles and a clean exterior, your truck is worth meaningfully more than the averages suggest. The 2019 to 2021 interior complaints were fair. GM addressed the worst of it in the 2022 refresh. More importantly, interior complaints have never historically moved the needle on Silverado resale. Buyers in this segment want reliability, serviceability, and towing numbers. On all three, it consistently delivers. Number 7, Ford F-150, 44 years at the top of America's sales chart. That didn't happen by accident. It happened because Ford built this truck for the person who actually needs it, not the journalist reviewing it for a weekend. iCars gives current F-150 configurations an 83 out of 100 resale score. Here's the detail that trips people up. Not all F-150s hold value equally. The Power Boost Hybrid, a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 paired with an electric motor producing 430 horsepower and 570 pound-feet of torque, commands a meaningful premium on the used market over the standard EcoBoost. If you own one, that distinction matters more than you think. The biggest mistake F-150 owners make is trading prematurely into a new model year. Private party sales on lightly used F-150s consistently outperform dealer trade-ins by $3,000 to $8,000 on this specific model. That gap is wider here than on almost anything else in the segment. Sell it yourself first. That's not an opinion. That's what the transaction data says. Number 6, Ford Ranger, 2024 Tremor. Ford killed it, buried it, revived it, fumbled the landing. Then the 2024 redesign made everyone who waited look like they knew something. For years, the mid-size segment was essentially Toyota's playground. The Tacoma sat on the throne so long it started collecting dust up there. When Ford brought the Ranger back in 2019, critics called it underpowered and overpriced. Enthusiasts said it felt like a shrunken F-150 with nothing interesting to say. Then came 2024. The current Ranger retains 65.1% of its value after 5 years, outperforming the mid-size segment average by more than 2 percentage points. Rangers equipped with the 4-wheel drive Tremor package are holding value not just because they're trucks, but because nothing directly competes with them at their specific capability-to-price ratio. The Tacoma TRD Pro costs significantly more. The Colorado ZR2 appeals to a different buyer. The Tremor slots into a gap the resale market is actively trying to fill. That supply-demand imbalance is working in your favor right now if you own one. We've covered 6 trucks. The next 4 are in a completely different conversation. Not just about holding value, but about what happens when a truck becomes so useful, so proven, so deeply embedded in how people work, that the market simply refuses to let go of it. Number 1 is going to be hard to argue with. Stay with us. Number 5, Ram 3500 with the Cummins. Somewhere in rural America right now, there is a man who bought one of these in 1989 and has never once seriously considered selling it. The Ram 3500 retains 76.6% of its value after 5 years. That tops the Ford F-350 by 2 full percentage points and beats the segment average by more than 5. Average 5-year-old Ram 350Os are selling for over $51,000 on the used market. One engine is driving those numbers: the 6.7-liter Cummins turbo diesel. The current generation delivers 430 horsepower and 1,075 pound-feet of torque. That is not a typo. Maximum towing with appropriate equipment hits 36,610 pounds. iCars gives the Ram 3500 a reliability rating of 8.6 out of 10 compared to the Ford F-350's 7.8. That gap is meaningful, and used truck buyers price it accordingly. If a dealer has offered you $38,000 on trade for a Cummins-equipped Ram 3500 in Laramie Longhorn or limited trim, list it yourself first. What you'll find on the private market will make that offer look like an insult. Number 4, Chevrolet Silverado, 2500 HD, $1,000. That is the total depreciation on a top trim 2020 Silverado 2500 HD over 5 years. A truck that cost well over $60,000 new, lost $1,000 in 5 years. That number you heard in the intro, this is where it lives. J.D. Power has given the Silverado 2500 HD an overall score of 80 or above for every generation on record. The Duramax diesel is a well-documented workhorse. Commercial fleet owners regularly report engines running past 300,000 miles without major powertrain failures when maintenance schedules are respected. There is a caveat worth naming. Early infotainment on 2020 and 2021 models drew legitimate complaints. Sluggish response, inconsistent voice recognition, real annoyance, not a reliability problem. If you're sitting on one of those years and hearing the infotainment criticism as a reason to sell, don't. The powertrain and frame will outlast those software concerns 10 times over. Used buyers already know it. Number 3, Ford F-35. Super Duty. No apologies for what this truck is. 37,000 pounds of gooseneck towing capacity, a payload that puts it in a different weight class entirely, and a presence on the road that makes clear you are not turning around for anything. The F-35 retains 74.6% of its value after 5 years, well above the truck segment average and comfortably in heavy-duty territory. Here's the value intelligence that casual observers miss. The F-350 is worth significantly more with a diesel than without one. A gas-powered F-350 is a fine truck. A diesel-powered F-350 is a sought-after commodity. The gap between what a dealer will offer and what a private buyer will pay for that specific powertrain combination is often $4,000 to $6,000 wider here than on anything else in this segment. Real money to leave on the table for the sake of a convenient transaction. The number 1 truck on this list holds 80% of its value. The F-350 holds 74%. That sounds close. On a truck starting above $80,000, those few percentage points are a very large check written in your favor or against you, depending on what you decide next. Number 2, Toyota Tundra, 2023 and newer. For a decade and a half, the Tundra was Toyota's reluctant full-size entry, too big for Japanese sensibilities, not diesel enough for American loyalists. The third-generation launch in 2022 was supposed to change that, and it did eventually. But the 2022 model year specifically had documented engine oil dilution issues that Toyota addressed through a technical service bulletin and extended warranty coverage. If you're buying used, stay away from 2022 hybrid models. The 2023 and newer iForce Max is a substantially different truck based on owner-reported data. iCars projects the current Tundra will last 15-plus years or over 200,000 miles. That longevity projection, baked into the resale value alongside Toyota's dealer service network, is exactly why lightly used Tundras are commanding prices that will make you look twice. If you own a current generation iForce Max, the data says one thing clearly: you are sitting on a truck the market wants badly and hasn't fully caught up to yet. Number 1 is in the same family, but the data is not even close. Number 1, Toyota Tacoma. No truck in American automotive history has held its value with this kind of sustained stubbornness. Not in 1 year, not in 1 generation, across 3 decades of real transaction data, all pointing the same direction. The Toyota Tacoma retains 80.1% of its value after 5 years. iCar's analysis of over 15 million vehicle transactions puts the average vehicle losing 41.5% in that same window. Consumer Reports calls the Tacoma the single best vehicle in America for 5-year retained value. Not the best truck, the best vehicle. It beat every SUV, every sedan, every other pickup on the market. The 2024 fourth-generation redesign brought a turbocharged 2.4-liter 4-cylinder across the lineup. Rear coil spring independent suspension on select trims, and something that makes this truck genuinely singular right now. It is the only pickup truck sold in America with a manual transmission available. After Jeep dropped the stick shift from the Gladiator for 2025, the Tacoma owns that distinction alone. Manual transmissions attract a specific, passionate buyer who will chase this truck on the used market regardless of what else is available. The TRD Pro is its own story. That is where the $5,000 over MSRP comes from. Owners are turning those offers down on trucks still under warranty because they've done the math and the math says hold. iCars projects the current Tacoma will last 15.7 years, nearly 197,000 miles with a 47.8% probability of crossing 200,000. This is not a truck anymore. It is a financial instrument wearing a pickup truck's badge, and the market has spent 30 years deciding it's worth exactly that much. If you own one, tell us in the comments. And if you're on the fence about selling, read those comments first. Because before you go, we put together a deep dive on 12 pickup trucks you should think twice about parking in your garage. Some of the trucks on today's list show up on that one too, for reasons that will genuinely surprise you. Every truck owner needs to see it. It's up next.